So now I'll talk about my favorite times with video games. I have to admit, I think my favorite times was when the 6th generation of consoles were all out. I remember having so many games I liked, and these were a variety of stuff, not just first-person shooters. I mean, this gameplay is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, one of my all-time favorite games from last generation, and I loved this game so much when I first played it. It was really addicting, and I really played it so much that I became a better player, because it's that type of game that encourages you to become a better player. Now I'm not really on that same skill level I was back then, but I think it's nice to see where my skill levels are now. Not gonna lie, I really had to warm up before I recorded this video. Any game I thought was cool by reading the information from the back of the cover, I bought it. I always seem to enjoy my purchases, even though I had moments where I bought something that I didn't like, but I really think last generation was my generation. I still have yet to play some of the games that I wanted to play because I was busy with other games, of course. In the 6th generation, it was really my time where I became a console gamer, because back then I didn't really have the money for a gaming console, so I had to play it on PC with whatever games I had for that time. I started my first gaming console with the N64, probably, or Xbox. It was either of those, and I got into the N64 really late, like at the time where it was about to die out, pretty much. Still, it was totally worth it for Super Smash Bros. That game was so much fun, and I spent hours upon hours playing that game. It was really worth it for the console itself, the same thing to be said for Halo and the Xbox. But I spent most of my console gaming on the original Xbox. I had a friend who had a PS2, and I would go over his house and we would play PS2 games like Vice City and San Andreas. And we would do the same thing to my house, but playing the Xbox with games like Halo, Halo 2, and I think Unreal Championship. Lots of good times, really. When I think about it, I think last gen was a really good hybrid for appealing to the masses, but also to gamers. I think developers are trying way too hard to appeal their product to everyone with all these tutorials, or trying to make it more easy to get into. I really think, the 6th gen was a really good time for Xbox. Xbox Live was definitely a huge success. I mean, I don't think I need to, get into why. It pretty much standardized online gaming for consoles, and I will never forget, my time playing Halo 2 for the very first time. It was very, very addicting. I think Microsoft also did a good job at giving players a variety of exclusives rather than just shooters. Let's face it, 360 is mostly just shooters if you want exclusive games. Not only that, it was a great time for me to get into console gaming, but my PC gaming times were awesome too. Doom 3, Warcraft 3, and Diablo 2 gave me a lot of fun times. I also played some of Soldier of Fortune multiplayer, and I had some mindless fun times when I play online on that game. Now, I'll finish this video by talking about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. So these stages that you've seen, they're some of my favorites. I absolutely love majority of the stages on this game. There's not one stage I don't really like. I did play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 and I loved it, but unfortunately I never had the time to buy it because I rented the game and borrowed it from a friend. Still, this game gave me a lot of fond memories, and I think it has a great soundtrack too. I remember just enjoying the music while playing the game. With that said, I don't really got anything to say. You guys could, share me your stories, what you guys were doing during the, 6th gen consoles dominated the market. But I could tell you one thing, I was really, having some of the best moments in my life while, those days were present. And I really do miss them, but, time moves on and you just gotta live with it.